da 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 da. Egotastic car time. Hey gang, I'm JP and welcome back to Talking The Orville on Egotastic FunTime Car Time Edition. What? Today we're gonna have a great time talking about my first impressions of last night's all-new episode of The Orville Season 2, Episode 11, Lasting Impressions. Oh my G, you guys. This episode, as you know, I love every episode of The Orville. Don't we all? With me, every episode is the best episode, as some of you have pointed out. And I cannot deny that. But that's not my fault that every episode of The Orville is my favorite episode. The next new episode by Jonathan Frakes, I have no doubt will be my favorite episode of The Orville, but that's not my fault. That's The Orville's fault for making such an incredible show. Oh, Tim Russ, you guys. We open up with Tim Russ and his time capsule, his Tim capsule. From 2015, it was discovered, and the Orville is tasked with taking this time capsule and its contents to this museum on some other planet. I can't remember the other planet's name, but of course we're going to know all about that planet when we do the full review in a couple days here. I love this episode, and what smart. This is something that sci-fi shows have a hard time doing. Getting sponsorship, getting ads in the show, making that money. This time capsule was perfect. We had, what, Spam? Spam was paying money for this episode. Snickers, 5-hour energy drink. We'll go down the list when I look through every single item when I start doing my research. I think there was baby powder in there. The only company that didn't have to pay anything was the cigarette company. And of course, Mocklins are addicted. Mocklins have become, men are absolutely gross, okay? And I think Mocklins are meant to represent, even though we love them, men's worst instincts. And put that on the screen and and just let it fly and see what happens. We'll get back to that later. So this episode, Gordon falls in love with a holographic program. Laura, played by Leighton Meester, who did a great job. What I really appreciated about this is what it was saying about how we as humans are. We're looking for love. We know a connection. Gordon, of course, we've learned, I think since Geloja, I think since the first episode, we found out that Gordon is not happy with his life. That's kind of been a theme that keeps popping in and out of this season. He's looking for something more. He's looking for companionship, and he found it here. And what was great is, like, he gets that phone, okay? It has all this information from Laura in it, and he creates a hologram, a simulation, right? But of course, just like he says in the episode, he didn't create it. The computer created it. It took all this information from her phone, knows everything about who she is. She wrote this program about herself. It is the fish hook that hooks the fish. We know this, okay? And this fish hook hooked Gordon. Love is unexpected. You can't predict it. And that's how this program was. Of course, like Gordon says, yeah, we've all had crazy stuff happen in the simulator. But this is different. And it is true because he doesn't know what's going to happen. He doesn't know what's going to be going on when he opens that door to the simulation room. Her life is going on in this program, in the circuitry, in the memory banks of the ship's computer. So he opens that door and to see what's going on with her life. He falls in love with this woman. It's unexpected to him. He doesn't know what she's about. He didn't program her. He's learning about her just like you do with a person, and it turns out she's awesome. The Orville is like a 500 pack of cigarettes. You never know what you're gonna get with each sweet, flavorful puff.
I'm in flavor country, you guys.
Until lasting impressions, I felt like I was standing up my whole life, and this is the first time I sat down. So I have no doubt that Gordon can fall in love with the simulation because I'm a dude. I'm a person. It doesn't have to be a dude thing, but like I said, dudes are gross. And I'll get to you in a second, ladies. How many times have you fallen in love on a daily basis with someone on television, a video game character, a character in a comic book, and it was more than just like, oh damn, she's hot. Of course, there's always that element to it because we're dudes and we're gross. But you fall in love just for a few seconds every day. You know how it is as being a guy. We're wired that way. You almost feel like you fall in love with these characters, and it's more to you than just, oh, she's this hot chick in the show. You start thinking about, oh, what if we were hanging out? What if she was right here, right now when we were talking? Oh, thanks, you're cute. And that's what a simulation like this does. You got all of a sudden what appears to be a living, breathing person in front of your face that seems like they're more than just lights and force fields. They're right there in front of you. You could talk to them. He's learning about her. And it's just like that person that you fell in love with in that movie or that game, or right in the middle of Hustler. So imagine how hard it would be to not fall in love with these holographic characters, because it's easy to fall in love with just a girl on a page. I fall in love on every page with Hustler. Women, same thing. Person in a movie, in a book, a comic book. Hashtag nerd girl power. What? So I get it, and I get it that she's more than a hologram to him, but also he understands. And he brought up such a great point. And I thought we talked about this when we're during the live show and during some other chats that we've had about, oh yeah, this is going to be that same type of question of like, well, big deal that she's a hologram. Claire fell in love with an advanced microwave. At least he's not humping a Corvette's exhaust pipe, because dudes are gross. And of course, this was a Gordon episode. We learned even more about Gordon 2 weeks in a row, you guys, which is great, because Gordon is that character that we've all wanted to get to know better. John, you're up next. We need to learn more about John, okay? Oh God, I got to open this window a little bit. I'm so sorry, you guys. Oh, but it's too loud outside, stupid cars. And because of what this is, and the show always tries to be very realistic with the that human connection. These are people in the 25th century, but of course they're still people. And they even bring that up a little bit in the episode. Gordon's like, yeah, the people back in 2015, that was reality to them, just like this reality is our reality, but they seem to be just a lot like us. I would say people in 2015 did dress pretty weird, you guys. The hairdos and the shirts, God. If they really wanted to make this realistic, it could have gotten really gross. I'm pretty sure most people, most of us, even if we had that nice experience with Laura in the environmental simulator, it would have gotten pretty creepy pretty fast. Which reminds me, okay, at some point they actually get jiggy with it in the simulation. What happens now that the simulation's over and everything disappears? What happens to Gordon's little test pilots that were ejected from his cockpit? Does the simulation room just kind of clean that up for him? Also, if they're doing that in the simulation, I really highly doubt. I saw those glasses of wine. I saw that beer. Can't imagine that he didn't have to Jaloja at some point. What does the simulator do with his Jaloja, you guys? Does every simulation room come with a pee corner? Speaking of vile messes, F Greg. Greg can go suck it. Oh, hi. My name's Greg. I'm a Greg. Stupid Greg. Oh, what about the fact that she ends up, it's a simulation that he started. They fall in love with each other. They get all jiggy with it. And then he shows up and gets dumped by a holographic character. What? I definitely did not see that going. She was going to get back with Greg. And then he's all bummed out, talking with John. John's like, man, I really feel you. No, just kidding. I've never been dumped before. Which is totally so John, just getting laid all the time. John's like, well, sorry, man. That was going too far. It wasn't going to work out. You just got to realize there's just parts of your life you're not going to be able to control. And right then I was like, yeah, you can. It's a simulation. Go just reprogram it. And that's what he does. He gets rid of stupid Greg, which is exactly what he should have done. But then it turns out Greg was such an important part of her life, just like we all have people that are important to our lives, that she just wasn't the same person because she didn't have those experiences anymore. By the way, I like that Ed, instead of Ed and Gordon having a heart-to-heart, Ed and Kelly had a heart-to-heart. And I wonder what that was like for them, being that Scott Grimes and Adrian Palicki are actually engaged in real life. But I love that they had a heart-to-heart. She's like, yeah, the people that we know, make us the people who we are, all of our experiences. Imagine if I never met Ed, I wouldn't be able to cross my eyes one at a time, which is a big deal. So this episode was not only much cheaper to make than some episodes of the show, which is actually very smart. They actually get people paying to have their products on screen, which is also very smart. We get a heartfelt, personal story that also is hilarious. This is what the Orville does for us. You never know what you're gonna get out of this show, and I love that. It was almost like watching an episode of Dawson's Creek on the CW back in the 90s or whenever that was, and that was really appreciated by me because I'm a Vanderbeekophile. What? Bortus and Clyden getting addicted to cigarettes. Oh, damn, you guys. I never would have expected that. During the live show, I had that picture that I showed you, a production still of the two of them sitting on Claire's sickbay bed, getting a checkup for some reason. We're like, what the heck's going on? Why would both of them need to be there, right? And I was like, never in my wildest dreams, and I got TV brain, you guys, would I ever imagine that the two of them were there because they were addicted to cigarettes. And damn, Bortus smokes like a mofo. Dude is cool. Dude is smooth. He's probably like just crushing it with dudes all the time because they're like checking him out and going, and guys are just like swooning over him. He's the Mecklenborough man. Oh my God, you guys. So a guy was just walking by, cause you know, I'm right here on the street. A guy was just walking by and he looks in at me and he goes like this to me. He goes, and I go, That's amazing. A dude just asked me for a cigarette. I don't have cigarettes. I don't smoke anymore. But he's asking me for a cigarette. We're totally talking about Mocklin's smoking. That's amazing. I love how the show uses the Mocklins to kind of not only get these great humorous moments, but about serious, about serious stuff that's going on, serious issues, being addicted to smoking, stuff like that. I thought that was amazing. So I'm going to get to work on the review here now. I also have to do a review for Star Trek Discovery's latest episode. Tune in for that one, you guys. But the Orville lasting impressions, we had a heartfelt, personal story about the human condition, about the need for companionship, the need to find something more. Gordon is very unhappy with his life and he's searching for something. He almost thought that he found it, and it was nice to see him fall in love a little bit, even though it didn't quite turn out the way he wanted it to, though of course we expected it not to go very far because he can't have a holographic girlfriend forever, I'm assuming. This episode didn't have a lot of explosions and space pew-pews going on, which is something we love about our sci-fi shows. This was a personal story, more of that Fox in a Box type of format. It's almost like we're watching a different show, and I absolutely loved it. These unexpected episodes like that, like A Happy Refrain, lasting impressions, this one here, very unexpected, something you would never think would be in the show. They end up being my favorite episodes of the Orville, you guys. I absolutely adore them. Next episode is going to be the Jonathan Frakes episode. We're going to be dealing with some Mocklins, a variety of Mocklins, not the type of Mocklins that you might necessarily be thinking, or at least Mocklin that you might be thinking of. With the Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis episode, and I can't wait to check that out. But that's going to be 2 weeks from now. We got a 2-week hiatus for the show. Next week is going to be Identity Part 1 rerun. The week after that is the Identity Part 2 rerun. But I want to know what you guys thought about this episode, so you got to let me know. But also, if Gordon wanted things to work out, but also keep Laura being Laura, oh, she's different without Greg. If you erase him from the program, that's okay. There's a simple solution to the Greg problem that you can have the computer do for you. It's called #CD Hotel, #Singapore Hookers, #autoerotic asphyxiation. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today, and I talked about it. How did you feel about this episode of the Orville Lasting Impressions, which has to do with love, falling in love with a beautiful, lovely, trim stack of cigarettes? Oh, and Leighton Meester as Laura too. You can let me know what you think by joining the conversation below. Thank you so much, you guys, for liking, sharing, and supporting my stupid show. It really does mean the world to me. I'll see you very soon. Maybe not in this car, though. It's really freaking hot, you guys. And I hope all your times are egotastic fun times. All the kisses. Love you. Bye-bye.
Egotastic fun time, we're gonna have a great time. Egotastic fun time, give me all your money. Give him all your money. You will find it funny. Just give me money. I love money. Give me all your 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 money.